we once again head over to the Windy City, Matthew Waywat's home, as we'll see who rises up against all odds as TNA Wrestling brings us against all odds from the Sierra Stadium. Welcome to the discussion, folks. And are we on the verge of a system failure or deletion? And who is going to confront the juggernaut? Let's go ahead and get right into this and so much more. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition, late night edition of TNA Simply Predicting. I don't know if it's becoming a thing, but it certainly seems to be. You know what this is. I'm the Simple Man, the Simple Brand, the voice, the JMF, forever great professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noel Foster. With me, of course, my color analyst in WWE, his brand NXT, diving into TNA and also taking a chance on everything's wrestling. I appreciate that. Renegade Wrestling, J.J. Williams, and longtime friend, of course, the Virginia community, NoDQ Galaxy, just a good-hearted fellow down in Florida. Dwayne Atkinson. First off, Dwayne, it's great to see you once again on this platform. How you feel about TNA against all odds and how you been?
Oh, man, I am hyped up for this one, especially now with that TNA and WWE is collaborating now. Hey, anything could happen. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on. I just want to say whatever's going on, Triple H, thank you, man. I have been a longtime fan of TNA, but now you have really, really boosted me up now. I'm so looking forward to this pay-per-view right now.
Man, might as well be a paper. Let's freaking go. Before we, of course, get into things, JJ, good to see you once again. How you feeling about TNA Wrestling's Against All Odds come tomorrow?
Well, first of all, good to be seen, and I feel like I'm going to tank because I haven't watched the product in about the past month. So I have no idea what's going on heading into these matches. I'm just kind of freewheeling it, and we'll just see how things go.
I love that. Sometimes that's all you need, especially with how unpredictable TNA has been as of late. And again, folks, if you want to dictate the conversation outside of what we predict, Super Chat at Castlevania Studios. I support my friend. I'm not monetized. Super Chat is as simple as that. But thank you all for tuning in, whether live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. And of course, your opinions matter too. There is now a form live on my Twitter, the X account. It'll be in the comments after this video concludes, as well as my Greeted Time YouTube channel. So become part of the TNA League, as these fine gentlemen are part of the league. So far, Ashley right now is holding it down just below Jossie. Wayne, though, you're doing extremely well. I am very impressed, but I'm coming right on your tails. And JJ, you're in the middle of the pack, but still, I welcome everybody that's been participating so far, as we're at the halfway point now of all the leagues. So good luck to everybody. Come tomorrow. Well, I think that being said, good to see you on the chat as well. Emmanuel, Daniel, Darren, thank you everybody for tuning in. So without further ado, gentlemen and chat, let's get into it. So they gave us a 10-match card as TNA presents, courtesy of the TNA Plus app only, TNA Against All Odds. The way you can watch this show, folks, is becoming a subscriber to the TNA Plus service. They're currently running a promotion where if you use the code TRYUS, all one word, you get to watch this for only $5, as well as what's coming up across TNA content outside pay-per-view for the next month. And again, TNA Plus, you can find it for the TNA Wrestling website. You can find it for your local smart TV providers. I believe you also can buy this through Triller if you choose. And TNA Plus, of course, will kick off with the countdown to TNA Against All Odds. That'll start 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll, of course, do our kickoff at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our own little pre-show hype and discussion on the bigger matches. I know everybody's got a lot of talking thoughts regarding one particular Hardy and one Juggernaut, and maybe Joe Hendry. So we have lots to discuss. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do this. And shout out to the Rage of Wrestling, Walter Cruz, who apparently submitted his picks. Good man. And Attila might stop by, but in case she doesn't, please support my fellow TNA affiliate. We are TNA faithful. Follow her at Raiders of Wrestling as she continues to discuss TNA on a weekly basis with her friend, along with other fans wrestling in and out of NXT and these other forums. That's Attila at Ranges of Wrestling. Let's go ahead and get right into these matches, shall we? So we got 2 matches on the countdown. That's free for everybody to see, regardless whether you're a TNA Plus subscriber or not. I believe the countdown is even on YouTube, TNA Wrestling's YouTube channel. So if you don't know TNA Wrestling, take a chance on this, and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Or maybe you'll be like, what the heck did I just watch? That is sometimes what TNA does. And right here, I'm kind of like that because tonight, Jonathan Gresham says it's Sami Callihan's immune system versus me, as this reincarnated King Nebuchadnezzar, Black Plague, octopus, one of the most pure wrestlers formerly identified, Jonathan Gresham, the husband to the Juggernaut, goes one-on-one with Sami Callihan. Again, ever since Jonathan Gresham returned, anybody that's come in contact with him and this black ink has come underneath some sickness, whether it's Kushida, whether it was almost Santino Marella, or whether it's probably still that referee. Last time we saw Sami Callihan in the ring with the octopus, he became exposed to Black King, and we haven't heard from him since. Whether or not it's affected him, this is the death machine we're talking about. He's a different breed of human being. So the fact that Jonathan says this against his immune system intrigues me. Jonathan Gresham did win their only singles encounter. So here we have a follow-up. So that being said, Jet, simply put, JJ, simply put, do you think Sami ties it up here, or does Jonathan actually make him sick and get the win again?
I go with Jonathan Gresham on this one. I feel like, he's still kind of new to the company, or at least since re-debuting with the company, and you don't want to job him out this soon.
Fair. Dwayne, again, to that point, Sami, he also recently returned. Let's not forget, both Sami and Gresham returned at Rebellion. Gresham in his match, Sami on behalf of the Juggernaut when all hell broke loose with PCO, Steph DeLander, and the Good Hands. So what's your take on this?
Excuse me.
You're fine, brother.
I'm kind of like JJ. I haven't really been following it as much, but you did say that Sami and Jonathan Gresham has already had one match, and Sami felt the wrath of that black goo, whatever it was.
Yeah.
With this being a pre-show, man, I'm not leaning towards in this one. I'm going with 50-50 buck on this one. I think Sami's going to come back and somehow beat Jonathan Gresham, even though I don't think Jonathan Gresham needs to lose right now. But like I said, it's a pre-show game, so I'm not expecting nothing big from it. So I'm just going with Sami Callihan on this one.
That's fair. I think necessarily also considering the type of way this rivalry is going, I don't think this is where it ends either, but it might escalate. Because so far, we haven't found an antidote to the Black Ink. And he doesn't necessarily have to win. He just has to make him sick. I think Sami wins via disqualification. Somehow Gresham is going to make Sami regret going in the ring with him. And tonight saw a promo by Gresham saying, I like being in the ring with you. There's a bit of maniacal, sinister energy coming from within the octopus that Sami is probably welcoming, knowing that crazy Yahoo. So I'm going to say that Sami wins, but via disqualification. Either way, I got Sami. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on from there as we look towards the other half of TNA when it comes to the premier women's division in the country, and arguably in the industry on the Western front, not named Stardom.
I remember NXT defeated the Knockouts.
Well, one night. You got lucky for one night. Just saying. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the TNA Knockouts for Tag Team Championships. That's Masha Slamovitz and Alicia Edwards of the System, who somehow still has her head on her shoulders after Rebby beheaded her in her nightmares, take on the Hex. You might recognize these two, Marty Bell and Pickies Up, Allison Kay, a.k.a. Sienna, former TNA Knockouts World Champions, former NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. Okay, so basically the Hex once again have found their way into another tag title opportunity. We previously saw them last face Death Dolls in a different era, and they lost. But this time I gotta wonder, where's the System's head at? And I did talk about it earlier. Are we on the verge of a system crash? And we have seen the Knockouts Tag Team Championships change hands quite frequently in and out of countdown shows. That being said, this is also now officially the second time we're seeing Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovitz in a match together without other oppositions as far as we know. And again, if Alicia was there tonight, would the result been different? Would we have gotten this match? Who knows? Dwayne, your thoughts on this? With how much these ties had changed hands and where Alicia's head might be at, do you have new Knockouts Tag Team Champions?
No, you took the words right out of my mouth. They're flipping flopping these tag team titles like they weren't nothing. Probably more so than a 24/7 title in the WWE. However, I don't even think Alicia. I don't even think the challengers are even signed with the TNA right now. So, I'm going with the fact that title champions are going to retain. Again, it's a pre-show match. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. And to your point, yeah, I don't think anybody knows fully right now who's officially part of this TNA roster that's still figuring their stuff out as they finally got more of their summer schedule planned out. I might be going to Cleveland, but we'll see. I also want to give a shout out really quick to the 10 of you that's put in the predictions so far, including that limited to SC, Charlene, Con Andrew, Drakeo, Walter, Big _ Space, best name ever, and of course JJ. I see yours as well. It was actually 50-50 with the Jonathan Gresham and Sami Callihan match, split right down the middle. As far as this one, though, JJ, it is majority rules. They are more saying that the champs are going to retain. So any further thoughts?
No, I see the champs retaining here. While I do think we're going to begin to see some cracks in the system, I don't think it's going to happen until Slammiversary. That's the big anniversary show. That'll probably be the big reset.
Yeah. And of course, that's the 20th Slammiversary in this company's history. Congratulations. Already, yes. It sounds like figures are flying off the shelves for Montreal, and I cannot wait to call that. So, yeah, I just feel like right now it's just so sudden, but we're seeing more, I think, of the tensions rising with Masha Slim and Edwards, where eventually they got to have a fallout because Masha's not part of the system. And the only person I know that Masha can actually trust and probably be working cohesively with is currently not right now involved in TNA. Come back soon. But yeah, I got the chance retaining. Okay, moving on. Let's go ahead and switch gears to a different form of tag team action. Speaking of people that can coexist, how about this Team Canada reincarnated with the Iron Man and possibly the gatekeeper of this prohibited portal? Just saying. It's Eric Young and the returning Josh Alexander going up against the ABC, former TNA World Tag Team Champions that just lost tonight. Spoiler for those that didn't watch TNA Wrestling. Just last night against Ryan and Nick Nemeth in a great main event. Of course, we know Eric Young, Josh Alexander, mad respect for one another, honoring TNA for what it truly means and what those letters mean as well. But they've also had a bit of star steps as they have been a tag team, whether you looked at the UK tour at Turning Point or in this era of TNA, where last time they were in tag team action, I believe they did get the win over one Frankie Kazarian and Steve Maclin. But that being said, the ABC, right now, I think they're on the verge of destruction because they can't seem to get it done together as of late. And being two former X Division champions and Ace Austin at one point, you probably inevitably your youngest TNA World Champion, I do think there is different intentions brewing within the ABC, within at least one of the two components. That being said, Josh Alexander, again, Iron Man, the standard, coming back, by the way, from injury after the ridiculous war with, of course, Alex Hammerstone, who's still out through the concussion protocol. It's hard to bet against Team Canada. Shout out to Scott Demore. I got Josh Alexander and Eric Young winning. JJ, thoughts?
Same. The last time I was watching Impact, you could start to see the cracks in the ABC. And I just feel like this could be the proverbial straw to break the camel's back.
Yeah, Dwayne, do you think with this way that TNA right now is reshaping their landscape still as we see it, do you think that the ABC are breaking up and maybe going one-on-one against each other towards some adversary? Do you think that maybe one walks out on one another? Because Josh Alexander is not coming back here to be pinned, and Eric Young, he's arguably been the face and the living, breathing passion of TNA. It's kind of hard to bet against this version of Team Canada, eh?
It's very hard to bet against them, but it's a possibility. But again, I haven't followed this as much. So when it comes down to it, man, you can't bet against two former TNA champions. So my bet's going with Josh and Eric Young in this match.
Yeah, to your point, Josh Alexander, the longest reigning TNA World Champion in this company's history. Eric Young, former TNA Heavyweight Champion, former TNA Television Champion, Tag Team Champion. He's held every title on this damn company except the Digital Media Championship. That's not even on the line tonight. Gee, I wonder why. And to your point, KBC, they've had the crack showing since they not only lost those tag team championships and they went one-on-one, and it was Chris Bay that got the better of Ace Austin, but during the chance to compete against Mustafa Ali going home to Chicago for the X Division Championship, the ABC lost to Speedball Mountain. And that's really, I think, the turning point for this team. And since then, they have not gotten, I believe, a tag team win. To my point, they just lost against Ryan and Nick Nemeth, who have only had one match as a tag team, and that was tonight. And they just beat the former TNA Tag Team Champions, the team that beat the Motor City Machine Guns for the titles when they first won them, might I remind you. So, yeah, it just feels like everything right now has to go Josh Alexander and Eric Young's way to build for Slammiversary when both go home to Canada. Okay? And a majority agree with us, 90% versus 10%. So that seemed pretty easy to call. And good to see Josh Alexander back. I'm sure Jay Chun's very happy. All right. Well, as a husband and wife reunites, JJ, you're a Disney guy, but I think this version of Beauty and the Beast is better off left in the vault. Just saying. I don't know what the fuck's happening here. But PCO got his rose back from Flop Down, that guy. And Rich Swann tried to attack him. Rich Swann got knocked the fuck out. It's PCO versus Rich Swann one-on-one because PCO is invading. Well, how do I try and put this in layman's terms? PCO is trying to confess emotions to Steph DeLander, and I guess an answer will be known come tomorrow following this. What the fuck am I watching? Dadgummit. I'm just saying PCO wins. Who the fuck cares about Rich Swann and Flop Dollar? Moving on. Y'all got anything to say regarding that?
What I love is that you get on me for my NXT and this high school drama bullshit, and then you've got this love story here.
Damn it. Stop it.
PCO is going to win, though.
Rain, is it unanimous?
Nope.
What?
Steph DeLander's been a heel. She's always been a heel. She's going to play him all the way to the very end, play his emotions coming on and turn on him. Rick Swann's won this match.
God, that's even worse. This is a no-win scenario. And I guess if nothing else, you're building a rivalry with Zaya Brookside, who tried to encourage show emotion, show love, show kindness.
Not always going to win, okay? Remember that.
Everyone good? We good? You finished your point. I want to make sure we weren't talking over each other because I saw the echo. We good? Okay. Go ahead, JJ. What were you saying?
I was just going to ask a question. I apologize if I was stepping on. I was trying to find out how long the Steph DeLander thing has been going on with PCO.
Since Rebellion, when, again, Steph DeLander faced Jordynne Grace, and PCO was the guy that invaded the scene, and you thought Steph DeLander was trying to play with PCO's emotions, but PCO might think there's real affection as he almost did a freaking dance thing and almost kissed her. And then the Rose thing came out during the Champions Challenge 2 weeks ago, the biggest tag team match in TNA history, where after it, PCO presented Steph DeLander a black rose. Then I think it was last week and not the previous week, presented her a love letter. Zaya Brookside and Gia Miller have been encouraging Steph DeLander to give PCO a chance and give him an answer. She's decided to give PCO an answer tomorrow. And then AJ Friends decided to take the rose because he's a fucking idiot. So, yeah.
Okay. Now that you shed light on this one, I'm changing my prediction.
Good man.
I didn't see that part tonight, so.
This match, for those that don't know, this match was literally to find tonight out of tonight's TNA Impact episode. There you go. The bigger thing is the angle. What is Steph Delander going to say or do to PCO? And is she going to be involved during this, before it, or afterwards? For those that love a love story of wrestling with Beauty and the Beast, here's your definition.
Deathmatch Queen show up.
Deathmatch Queen and French Canadian Frankenstein. Jesus Christ, 2024.
Yeah, I just feel like they're gonna string this along a little bit longer. Like I said earlier, I feel like Slammiversary is gonna be the hard reset. Like the way you're setting this up, I'm almost seeing like a Tory Kane thing going on here.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. And again, PCO, also from Canada.
So let PCO win, and then come Slammiversary, PCO versus AJ Francis, and have that be when the turn happens.
Yeah, he loses out in the Digital Media Championship. Although
the girl.
I'd rather take him over Flop Dollar, but anyway. Majority are going with Rich Swann, though, 60 to 40%, but maybe we swayed their judgment. Who knows? Then again, maybe people don't believe in love. What is love? I don't know. Love and wrestling. Give me a break. Anyway, moving on from that nonsense, from something that you believe is going to be one and done, this might be, but after the night, maybe not. What happens when two enemies come together against a common enemy? As Mike Santana and Steve Maclin, again, came in at Rebellion. Mike Santana beat Steve Maclin in his TNA debut. Steve Maclin has had Mike Santana in his crosshairs since. But the Rascalz have no love lost against Mr. Mayhem after the fallout where he tagged and bagged both of them, and the Rascalz are still sore losers. To the point that they attacked these two when they were trying to sell things one-on-one in a rubber, which brought us to here. Tonight, Mike Santana had a great opening match against Zachary Wentz and won after Steve Maclin came down and knocked Trey Miguel the fuck out. Now, according to this, Steve Maclin personally said this is one and done, as Mike Santana is trying to focus on being a singles wrestler. This lifestyle is behind him. No longer OG, no longer problem, no longer tag team. He's one and himself, reformed from his previous demons in history. Respect, and it proved tonight during the singles match. But, it's one of those things. Strange bedfellows, the enemy of my enemy is my ally. And formerly being involved in the military, you know how to create alliances, and you know also how to scout your opponent and seek and destroy. I kind of feel like here the Rascalz right now are just causing mischief with nothing to gain. But I do think there's more to gain for Steve Maclin and Mike Santana in winning, because they need to have that double one-on-one, I think, again, to settle things. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's one and blank, because the other match got thrown out by these two Rascalz last week. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, even though the Rascalz are, again, a team. I don't think Myrie is going to show up. I'm going to say that Mike Santana and Steve Maclin get the win. JJ, what's your thoughts on this?
Who did you say you don't think is going to show up?
Myron Reed, the other Rascal. Although I know what you might be thinking.
Yeah. Trip to the west side. Zach Wentz did put out the tweet after Battleground.
Right.
We're only just a phone call away. So I feel like he could pop in here to try to set things up.
Okay. I wonder if other people agree with you on that point, because, Dwayne, I am in the minority. Not much, though. 60 to 40% in favor of the Rascalz. And the Rascalz right now have had no tag team momentum since losing out against Speedball Mountain, and, of course, previously losing out on the TNA Tag Team Champions. But they did win that trios match that caught me by surprise at Under Siege against, again, the ABC and Leon Slater. Oh, no, excuse me. But they lost that. So, and that was with Myron Reed. So, yeah, maybe Wesley is the Rascal that they need. But would Wesley show up tomorrow in Chicago? And that remains to be seen. Dwayne, what's your thoughts on this tag team match for the way it stands? Do you think Mike and can coexist for the win?
I like what JJ says, man, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that's wishful thinking on that one, bro. He ain't coming back. You know, I am gonna still put my money on the Rascals though. I still think that they're gonna come back and win. They're the tag team. However, I'm not sold on Steve Maclin yet.
Oh,
Nope. I don't think he's true. He's out for himself, make himself look good, whatnot. Nah, I'm going with the Rascals on this one.
I'm about to say Steve Macklin again. Tag him and bag him. And of course, the Butcher Rose has been doing that lately with Lamara Mera. Again, I cannot wait for that on Saturday. Still mad. All right. Again, I do wonder, though, if anything comes out after this, do we get Mike Santana and Steve Macklin one more time? And maybe it's under Full Metal Mayhem or Guerrilla Warfare. Who knows with these two?
I just look at it like we've got the weekend before we get back to NXT, and NXT doesn't always do, house shows over the weekends.
Fair.
So why couldn't they have some involvement here, some involvement on the TV tapings that are going to occur on Saturday, and then you have the return come Tuesday with this battle royal.
That's fair. Dwayne, you had a thought?
Mm, Not a bad idea, but I'm not dwelling into more of this than what it really is. I don't think. Uh, I got one or two possible ideas that could possibly show up for the battle royal, but again, it is what it is. I don't expecting a big turnout from TNA to show up for it.
TNA again. There's the TNA faithful. There's the NXT universe. It's what you choose. It's what you buy into. It's what you believe in. But I know there's one thing that we all believe in because I think it's safe to say, even the chat, we all believe in Joe Hendry. I just had to put it out there because I said his name. Speaking of which, say his name and he will compete. I believe that Joe Hendry will humble a king. But what the hell? A steal in the corner? What? Anyway, it's Joe Hendry going one-on-one against Frankie Kazarian. Yes, folks, I kid you not, that is a steal. You know, the guy that used to be CM Punk's guy, EW, both got fired from Chicago. Yeah, that guy, just saying. Anyway, Joe Hendry goes one-on-one against Frank Kazarian. So here's how this goes. First off, yes, I said again, I believe. Joe Hendry, of course, has had a tremendous wave ride of momentum on his lyrical prowess and his in-ring experience. Of course, we saw him in the Champions Challenge, and of course, he won for the TNA faithful non-champion side. And that really was a turning point as Hendry Mania ran wild, I believe. Of course, prior to that, we had one of the best contests ever in TNA wrestling history with that coverage of AJ Styles, I Am, still at the top of my Joe Hendry Spotify playlist, with I believe. Now available on iTunes and Spotify. I think it's still trending. But also, he as of lately has become more of a people's choice and has tried to confront the system. But at the end of the day, motivation still doesn't outweigh a numbers game. And as we saw last week, he got beaten down and left in a heap after coming to the aid of Nick Nemeth, I believe, after that match with Eddie Edwards. But he said that, so maybe, again, being a humanitarian that he is, doesn't make excuses, he needs to rely on some backup, get some added motivation to fend up against the numbers. Somebody else that believes in him, that can move him forward past that glass ceiling to reach the summit of TNA wrestling. Ace Steel, folks, is in TNA as Ace Steel showed up tonight. But Kazarian, filling in that king, doesn't have anybody that opposes him, and the king leads by example, decide to insert foot and mouth. I know, does that sound familiar? And basically, he says that he's looking to teach Joe Hendry a lesson, the self-proclaimed king of TNA. So now I got this one-on-one match. Now, I don't know about you, but I believe that Joe Hendry can become TNA World Champion before the end of the year. I also believe Joe Hendry could show up somewhere else very soon for the prohibitive portal if you've been watching the wrestling industry as of lately. JJ, you recently believed in Joe Hendry, finally. What's your take on this singles match against, Frank Kazarian, somebody else that you know very well?
Yeah, I am hating on TNA for booking this shit right now. making me have to pick here.
I'm putting out the gravity discuss. Matt, good to see you. Go ahead.
It's funny that you bring up the whole Ace. The only time Ace Steel has been mentioned lately this week. It was actually a couple days ago that the challenger for the Mission Pro Championship this Saturday posted a tweet with Ace Steel and how she has been training with him the last few months. Izzy Moreno.
I think the Let's Days of this as we will call that Summer 11. Continue.
So it's just kind of interesting that he's getting all of this buzz this week. I don't know. Like, I don't want to go against my longtime buddy Frankie.
Do it. I dare you.
But I feel like the momentum right now with Joe Hendry, especially with the Spotify and the release of his song and all the streams he's getting, like, I don't think that you go against all of that publicity that he's bringing right now. So I believe that Joe Hendry will get the victory.
Good man. I'm proud of you. And
just like if we get about another $250 raised, you will have to join Chase U based off of your prior agreement.
I'm immediately dropping out afterwards, just saying. Anyway, I asked everybody also personally when I made this in the forum, do you believe? And guess what? Most of them do believe. Now, I wonder who's the one or two people that don't believe. Because it's 80% to 20% practically in favor of Joe Hendry. So that being said, Grant Atkinson, I'm very interested in your take on Joe Hendry because the first time I'm engaging with you in your belief. And there you go. So again, this is the most brilliant thing right now in wrestling outside corporate Okada. What's your take on this singles match and Ace Steel maybe guiding Joe Hendry to the summit of TNA wrestling?
I'm telling you right now, I was looking forward to this. Ace Steel kind of scared me for a little bit because I didn't really know. I don't know much about the guy. I don't know if he's more heel, if he's more pro, whatnot. You know, part of me scares me that he's going to turn on Joe Henry, but you know, like JJ said, man, the man is on cloud nine right now. All money is pointing towards him. So how would you bet against him right now? So, you know, again, and until somebody changes my mind, I'm going to keep being the believer. Now, Joe Henry's winning this match.
Yes, we believe in Joe Hendry. Oh, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to call his match tomorrow. And of course, he also had a big singles win recently in the main event against the Systems, Eddie Edwards. So maybe Joe Hendry is the thing that can literally rise against the system and beat it. Just saying. Someone might have foresight. All right. Well, while we believe in Joe Hendry, Dwayne, I have a question for you. Who do you trust? Because let's go ahead and talk about the title that has defined this company the last 20 plus years now, shall we? The X Division Championship on the line as Mustafa Ali, political candidate C, the most trusted candidate on your ballot poll. The face of the X Division defends the title against Speedball Mountain, keyword Speedball Mountain, post TNA Wrestling, Trent 7. For those that don't know, Trent 7, of course, former Heritage Cup champion, former NXT UK tag team champion along Big Strong Boy title bait. The way this match was created, of course, was Speedball Mountain was able to get the better of the ABC in a traditional tag team match that, once again, thanks to the brilliant creativity of Mustafa Ali, turned into a 1-versus-1 to challenge Ali in his hometown of Chicago for the X Division Championship. Oh, by the way, he's still over 8 months undefeated in this entire wrestling business, by the way. Just saying, this campaign is unstoppable. But that being said, there is that one thing about a politic that they may have some dirty laundry they refuse to air, or maybe a fear. As Tom Hannigan was trying to get down to the bottom of this undefeated streak, I do wonder, is Trent 7 just a safe haven for a bigger threat that Mustafa Ali might be dodging? For those that watched the match I did with Speedball, Mike Bailey, and of course Trent Seven, it was Campaign Singh and the Special Security and Mustafa Ali at one point that got involved here and arguably cost Speedball Mike Bailey that match, which allowed Trent Seven this opportunity. But we also saw recently in a tag team match, and I love that, by the way, it was Speedball Mountain that got the better of Campaign Singh and the Cabinet when Mustafa Ali launched on in shock and awe as Trent Seven did get the win with the Burning Hammer. It's wild to think that Trent Seven could actually become the X Division champion in this day and age. But again, this is the vision that has defined by No Limits. Just saying. Now, he has the belt, so of course I'm going to leave him for last because he has the Golden Glory. So, Dwayne, I start with you. What's your take on the X Division and the state of it? Do you think Mustafa Ali is the candidate we still need to make it even greater than what it already has been? Oh, wow.
No, I'm just playing.
God, you did.
Actually, truth be told, I think Speedball should have been in this match, just Trent Seven. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know who's going to be the one that's going to dethrone Mustafa Ali right now. In fact, really, I'm enjoying it. It's nice to see him getting his paying his dues right now, getting his glory. Because what was it, 7-8 years with WWE? He didn't see none of it. Yeah, let him ride high right now. No, he doesn't need to drop the title anytime soon. But however, anybody that I think could would be Speedball. But with this match alone, I'm going with Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, between Campaign Singh and the Special Security that has allowed him to cheat to hold on to the championship, and cool about limited to against Ace Austin, tremendous match for that Rebellion, or it's just one of those things where hindsight's 20/20. But I do think you are basically posing the biggest threat on the opposite side of the ballot poll to the X Division Championship. That being said, JJ, everybody trusts in Ali. It's unanimous in the poll at 100%. And I also agree with Dwayne Atkinson. For an Ali, I trust. Go ahead and speak as you hold the original TNA X Division Championship.
Well, I am one of that 100%. In Ali, I still trust. As far as who's going to be the one to dethrone him, I don't know. I mean, Speedball Mike Bailey isn't a bad shout, but again, let's look into this prohibitive portal. What if there's a crossover? What if there's a man whose contract is about to come up, just kind of got written off of TV this past week on Raw?
Nothing wrong with that.
I'd be down for that. Take my money.
What if Ricochet comes over, takes the X Division title?
I've been saying what was said that I'd rather see him in TNA than AEW. He'd be a main eventer in TNA, I think, for sure.
You're not wrong. Continue.
But what if he comes over, takes the title, and with the working relationship, since both companies are under Endeavor, he comes back to Raw with the X Division title?
Oh, it's better than that speech shit. Hey, Andrade, was it worth going back to WWE? Anyway,
just throwing that out there. Speedball, as far as under the TNA umbrella, not a bad shout.
Yeah.
For what?
Again, one of the most notorious former X Division champions, and of course, he won that in Ultimate X. Held it for 8 defenses before losing it to your boy Frank Kazarian at Bound for Glory. So, I just, my thing though is I want to see Speedball Mike Bailey become the TNA World Champion. But then again, holding the X Division Championship, you do have the option to eventually use option C. So, you might be onto something.
Is that still a thing now?
Wait,
Is
what?
that still a thing now? Because the last time I seen it was Frankie Kazarian did it. Did they do it last year?
I don't think they did it last year, to your point, because they had the call your shot gauntlet. I think they've been like juggling it up actually, because they've been. I remember obviously was used at one point outside Bound for Glory, so I believe it's still a thing, but I'm trying to remember outside for Kazam when was the last time, and who was the last one that used that? I don't remember. But yeah, I think it is still a thing. And then again, Mustafa Ali being the politician he is, that's an easy way for him to put himself right on the ballot. So as far as politics goes, and I'm not political, and screw whatever Logan Paul's doing, this is one guy I trust in what he's been demonstrating so far in his undefeated campaign across the business, where he asks and begs somebody to make him doubt himself. I almost wonder if Spiel My Billy is the guy that's making him doubt himself to the point he didn't want to face him. Just saying. But yeah, Mustafa Ali's winning. It's as simple as that. But this should be a fun match nonetheless. Good luck, Trent. All right. Let's go ahead now and move into the tag team scene and see again, are we on the verge of a system crash? And will we see the Nemeth brothers show the world? Could you believe that in their second tag team match ever as a duo, it is Nick and Ryan Nemeth, the Nemeth brothers, the Hollywood Hog and the former Show-Off World Heavyweight Champion, IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, of course now Wanted Man, reborn, now free from WWE it seems, taking on the system with Alicia Edwards. Of course, we're talking about Brian Myers and the Edwards, the TNA World Tag Team Champions, representing the system. Since the system was born at Hard to Kill in TNA, they have had nothing but non-stop, pun intended, momentum. And of course, now they hold all the gold. But I do wonder if the Hardy compound warped their minds and changed their focus. And again, Nick Nemeth previously challenged Moose for the TNA World Championship back at Rebellion. This is where it all started. And of course, Ryan Nemeth got a little bit hot under the collar after Moose did retain via shenanigans, as the system always does. That's how the system works. It's a corrupted system. Go figure. Since then, though, they try to take out Nick Nemeth, and Ryan Nemeth's been fighting on his behalf, and Ryan and Nick Nemeth came back alongside Broken Matt Hardy to earn this opportunity, along with Broken Matt's opportunity we'll talk about in the main event. And since then, the system's been trying to neutralize Nemeth brothers, but they've been unable to. And why they wiped them out last week after, again, Nick Nemeth beat Eddie Edwards in the main event, it was the Nemeth brothers that stood tall tonight against the ABC. Again, weirder things have happened. This is TNA wrestling. But we are talking about the current TNA Tag Team Champions with Alicia Edwards, who's been the crucial factor in their corner in almost every one of their title defenses. It's so obscure to think that Ryan and Nick Nemeth, I honestly wonder if they even wanted this, could be the Tag Team Champions coming in tomorrow night. JJ, what do you think? Is this the first part of the system that fails? Once again, does the system work?
I think the system squeaks it out here. Like I said earlier, when it came to the Knockouts Tag Championships, I don't think the system's going to fall until Slammiversary. Come hell or high water, they're going to squeak it out here.
All right. Let's see what everyone thinks here. Well, good luck, Dwayne. It's 50-50. What's your take on this? Do you trust the system, or do you think the system finally fails?
Nope, I agree with JJ. I think the system's going to win this one. However, this isn't the brother duo that I think may take the tag team titles. I think it's going to be another brother duo that may do it as well. But we'll talk about that later.
And look at this guy with the premonition. After we went to the Hardy compound tonight on TNA, that was so fucking funny. The Hardy compound again, where Eddie Edwards found his inner American wolf. Brian Myers once again reminded why he was Edge's bitch after being speared by a skeleton. And Alicia Edwards got beheaded by Queen Rebby in her dreams. She's lucky. And Moose was once again reborn in the Lake of Reincarnation in his NFL linebacker uniform, where he failed. But apparently he had a 3-point stance and tried to speak. Take that for what you will. So I guess right now you do have a point. While, again, we might be on the verge of a system reset, I think JJ is on to something when it comes to Slammiversary, considering it's their biggest show of the year and it's the 20th anniversary. I gotta go with y'all for now. I do think the system gets it out. And again, Nick Nemeth already lost to Moose. Ryan Nemeth is the younger brother and still very unknown to everybody. And it still continues that feud if Nick Nemeth doesn't get involved in the decision. I think Ryan Nemeth's the one that needs to fall here. So I think I got to go with you guys here. You got to trust this corrupted system, especially with Alicia Edwards and that Kendall stick. All right. Now, where do we want to start? Which company? I'm just saying. Let's freaking get into this. And Daniel, I started your comment for a reason, brother. Jordynne Grace, the Juggernaut, and the leader of the ace of women's wrestling divisions, the Knockouts, the TNA Knockouts World Champion, has thrown an open challenge to anybody in the wrestling business. Whether you're independent, WWE, TNA, NWA, MLW, Stardom, AAA, insert company name here. She is going to prove why she is the Juggernaut and why nobody can stop her and take this title from her. Why she was unable to make history in WWE and capturing gold to be in the first inter-promotional champion, and who knows how long, honestly, in TNA history, probably, between WWE and TNA. She's going to show why, again, she is the force to be reckoned with in the Knockouts. Speculation abound ahead of Slammiversary there in Chicago. Whether or not you say Sky Blue, Kylie Ray, Natalya, Ivy Nile, Tatum Paxley, Ash by Elegance, bleh. Whether you say Asume, Hasuke, whether you say Siri, whether you say somebody out of the blue, sexy star from friggin' AAA, whether you say, dare I say it, Kenzie Page from the NWA Women's World Champion, anybody from anywhere. We have the win, we have the where. It's just a matter of who. And for added fun, I decided to make this a bonus point. For if you can actually correctly guess for a point, I'll give you a point automatically. But remember, regardless, this is for the TNA Knockouts World Champion. So let's speculate, shall we? Now, look, we have a lot we can figure out here. We have many options. But this guy right here is the definition of long-term storytelling. I start with you, JJ. Go ahead and take away your thoughts on this prohibited portal opportunity for the richest prize in women's wrestling, the TNA Knockouts World Championship. The floor is yours.
Well, as anticlimactic as it may be, I think we're going to get a rematch from Battleground. I think we're going to get Roxanne versus Jordynne too. Roxanne already knows that she can beat her. So I think that's going to fuel this heel Roxanne's ego to try and come and take her title. And Jordynne will get her victory back, retaining her title in her home company. Then we just have to worry about the rubber match and how we work that out. Do we do it on an episode of Impact with the taping Saturday? Do we do it on an episode of NXT? Do we hold off till Heat Wave? How do you work the rubber match? But I have a feeling that they're going to run it back with Roxanne.
And you have Roxanne losing.
Yeah. Because Jordynne's got to get her victory back.
Well, I mean, you live in a title scenario here. God forbid. All right. Well, Dwayne, what's your take on that? Do you have another name in mind, another company in mind? Do you have another aspect in mind between the fact that we got Heatwave and Slammiversary both coming up respectfully in July in Canada from TNA and WWE?
I can't say I'm not mad at what JJ said because the thought did cross my mind, but I mean, do they really want to do it twice in the same week? You know,
that's a fair point.
Quite frankly, I think it needs to be the female that is up in the air right now as far as if she's resigning or if she's going somewhere else. And that would be Natalya. I think she would be the perfect pick for this match myself. Regardless of the fact is, if anything else, we already know it's going to be a great match. So, I mean, I could see Tatum excuse me. I hope they just don't go with that stupid Ash by Elegance. I am not. I liked her better as Dana Brooks, but we'll save that conversation for another day. I mean,
super chat.
If anything else, it could be Stevie Turner showing up for a rematch. But I think it's going to be somebody big. If anything, it's either going to be Roxanne Perez or Natalya. But I'm going to go up on money with Natalya on this one.
Okay. Well, again, these shows, they kind of are pay-per-view level S, so I wouldn't rule it out of the realm of possibility. But again, Slammiversary is literally in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is I kind of feel like if Natalya is going to do one of these, do it in Canada. And especially since Montreal is where Uncle Brett got screwed, like not only can she challenge, but she can avenge that wrongdoing.
But the question is, though, is she going to be, if this happen, is she going to be part of the Owen Hart tournament as well? So that's another possibility.
We don't know where she's going to. Yeah, you don't know where she's going to.
We don't know what she's going to do.
That's fair. I'll give you that. That's fair. And honestly, she deserves both. That being said, some people have said, anyone from NXT, you vague mother. Anybody from WWE, Ash, Last Legend, Mickie James. That's bold. She's training in Ohio, but she's the lead trainer of Ohio Wrestling. A couple people did say Roxanne Perez. Someone else said someone from NXT. Someone said Tim and Patsy. Someone said Natalie. It does seem like a majority are going with Roxanne possibly as the most prime candidate. But again, after what happened with the summit on freaking Tuesday, I mean, she's got enough on her plate as it is with the entire NXT Women's Division imploding, and the fact that Lullabies and Herb are sitting next to each other, that was a little weird, just saying. But I am glad that Lullabies kicked the jaw off the TikTok reject. Respect. That being said, regardless, let's just put it out here. Jordynne Grace ain't losing the Knockouts World Championship tomorrow night. She's not.
No.
I that would be the biggest shock this year for me in this business. And Nathan, good to see you. But again, it's Chicago. She said anybody, anywhere. Do we continue to tease this WWE thing only this quickly, this short? Why don't we just do a video package for our next challenger or somebody shows up for WWE, record, after the match? I mean, again, what's Camille doing? What's Megan Bain doing? I'm thinking about also somebody that could really test the juggernaut strength for strength here because I want this to be a challenge. She's going to have a great match regardless and hold the title, but I want her to be tested because that's what Jordynne Grace wants to demonstrate. She is the one you have to be stronger to beat. Anyway, I saw your hand up, but go ahead and give your thoughts real quick.
Why not have Roxanne show up with her mom, AJ Lee?
Well, I mean, Ace Steel's in TNA, so arguably anybody from the CM Punk family is not out of realm of possibility. So, although I still think they're setting up Cora Jade for Roxanne Perez after the CM Punk face-to-face exclusive. I think they're setting that up for either Heat Wave or the next NXT thing, whatever the heck that is.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well, because I'm pretty sure that chick from Japan ain't going to be ready to go by then.
Nah, Julia's still recovering her wrist, and I just don't know necessarily if she'll be, cleared enough to compete without it, let alone use it as a foreign weapon or as a cast. And her beautiful insanity could knock Roxanne Perez the fuck out, I guarantee you that. So I think that's a match to come, but I think they're going to hold off on that too. And again, it might have something to do with the Pro Wrestling Noah announcement. Who knows? This Sunday, I will be watching. But yeah, Jordynne Grace is retaining, and I don't think it's going to be somebody from TNA. I am leaning more towards NXT rather than WWE, especially since, JJ, your summit didn't involve Tatum Paxley on Tuesday. I'm just saying. Either way, Jordynne Grace is retaining. But this is going to be fun to find out who arrives in a TNA ring to face the best of the best. The Knockouts and the Knockouts World Champion. Let's fucking go. Thank you, Gail Kim, and thank you, Ava Rain, Shawn Michaels, even though you're a trucking buffoon, and Santina Morella. Oh, dear God. If it's friggin' if it's Santina Morella's daughter, I'm going to lose my shit.
Oh, God, you had to throw
that would be awesome.
You know it's going to happen at some point. You know they're going to do Grace versus Grace. You know they're going to because that's Santan Morella's daughter.
They just need to have them in a backstage segment together.
Please, please, please. I don't.
Santan Morella and his daughter with Jordynne Grace. This is the thing that nightmares are made of. What are you doing, JJ? My brain. Anyway. Yeah, and again, I'm just really curious. I mean, what other names can you think of? What other companies can you think of that she didn't name? And somebody maybe from Chicago itself or somebody outside the Chicago area. There's a reason why I named Sky Blue and Kylie Ray. They're both from Chicago. So, again.
My friend, it could be anybody. Again, it could be from anybody from any promotion. It could be, it could probably be somebody from TNA for all we know. I like what it says there. I like what he plays there. I really like that. I really like that.
That's an interesting thought, actually, now that you mention it.
I'm sorry to say this. Before this ladder match come about, Thea Hale was the one I expected to win the new women's North American Championship. But this is before the ladder match was announced.
Yeah.
Like
you and a lot of people are going with Thea Hale for that. Even I was at one point. But Fallon Henry made sure that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and then when Fallon Henry beat her, she was the one that I predicted was going to win it. So.
And it's still bombed. Anyway, Fallon Henry be another one. Tessa Price, let's freaking go. So many possibilities for the best women's champion in the business. I said what I said. All right. But Roxanne again, congrats. Damn it. All right. Moving on from there. We had a lot of fun. There's a lot of speculation, premonitions, wild competitions that are ahead of us tomorrow night. So let's go ahead and talk about this main event where I think more than my brain's going to be left broken. Oh, Tara. I wouldn't mind seeing Tara. Oh, Tara be another one. Killer Kelly. Anyway, sorry. Sorry. Changing gears. All right, let's talk about the main event, shall we? Or what's probably the main event because it's broken rules. I mean, seriously, this is not wrestling. This is broken universe. It's Moose defending the TNA World Championship against Broken Matt Hardy. After putting in for the Leg of Reincarnation, I wonder if Moose is going to show up as a wrestler or a linebacker. Okay, so simply put, Broken Matt Hardy came back to TNA under the subtle tones of Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven and has basically confirmed or sentenced the system to deletion. And so far, instead of deleting the system, he's been abused by the system. But again, he said himself, you cannot break what's already broken. And after what happened tonight, I'm not sure who's more broken at this point, the system or Matt Hardy. So here we are. Matt Hardy's finally getting a chance one-on-one for the TNA World Championship, or excuse me, the Championship of the World. As of course, they won that trios match after the system celebration, after Rebellion, when Matt Hardy returned to this realm. So, Dwayne, what's your thoughts on Broken Matt Hardy claiming the championship of the world before maybe somebody else comes in here that he once rendered obsolete that might take him towards a different opportunity? Do you see Moose losing the TNA World Championship ahead of Slammiversary?
No, I'm not going to even entertain whatever stipulation you put in this match against Moose. Moose is not losing that title, especially against Matt Hardy. Moose is somebody that I see is about to do a crossover as well. We'll save that again for another conversation, but no, I don't. I don't truly. Moose is on the best run that he's had in a long time as the world champion. I don't really see possibly maybe one or two people that might dethrone him for it anytime soon, but no, absolutely not.
Fair enough. That being said, JJ, it's kind of partisan here, but believe it or not, Dwayne, you're in the minority. More people embrace the broken universe that Matt Hardy lives in. It's majority of Matt Hardy, not by much though, 59 to 41% in favor of Broken Matt Hardy becoming the TNA World Champion, or excuse me, Champion of the World. I'm not going to get used to that. And I'm not calling it like that either come tomorrow night. Anyway, JJ, your thoughts on this?
I like Matt Hardy. I really do. I've always been a Matt fan. But Moose has got to take this.
What
does it say about Moose if he loses to Matt?
Exactly.
Like, I feel like Moose becomes a joke.
The system becomes obsolete.
I think Matt will lose, and then potentially Jeff will make his return after the match. I don't think he'll make his return during the match.
Nah, I don't think so either.
I'm sorry. Are we getting Jeff Hardy? Are we getting Brother Nero? Or are we getting Willow?
Ooh, Willow! Oh my gosh! Now, I think Jeff even said he wanted to bring Willow back at one point, but to my knowledge, no, wait, I take that back. Willow was part of the Broken Universe in that freaking what they call it, Final Deletion. I remember that. Yeah, against the freaking Decay. Matt Hardy's brain hurts me, as well as his family's compound and the madness that ensued tonight. JJ, did you watch TNA tonight? Again, dude,
no,
it's $1 commercial free on YouTube. I guarantee it'll probably have the full clip for you on YouTube. It was something.
Yeah, I've got it DVR'd right now. I watched probably most of it till it's getting close time for this.
That's fair. Well, you're just going to be in for something. Something! Anyway, that's a whole different name and conversation. But, yeah, Matt is broken. I don't think the championship of the world fixes him. I think Moose retains too. And again, it's broken rules. And for those that don't know, it's just a no disqualification match. Anything goes. Typical Matt Hardy, extremist. Go figure. I just wonder what version we're getting here. But anyway, oh, that's right. He's broken. So, yeah, Matt Hardy, the Moose retains. And then you set up the angle for Slammiversary as far as who faces him there. Maybe it's Joe Hendry. We can only hope. Maybe Jeff and Matt go after the Tag Team Championships of the world instead. And again, to his point, is Jeff going to be obsolete? Is Jeff going to be willowed? Or is Jeff going to be that charismatic enigma? Only time will tell. Either way, I guess against all odds, we still are trusting in the system to hold out on all fronts. So we'll see what happens. We're quick to some people's comments here. Someone said Jeff still's up. Someone said, I believe. Someone said easy peasy. And someone said ABC. So simple comments. And again, folks, what are your premonitions and predictions for TNA against all odds? Let us know in the comments in the chat down below. Let us know anything else you have regarding TNA or the Prohibited Portal or TNA's involvement therein, whether tomorrow or next week, Tuesday. Just saying. But that's all I got for you for now. Before we conclude, let's go ahead, do some shows and plugs, and be everybody have fun. I do. Dwayne, absolute pleasure. Looking forward to having you back on the platform again soon. Honestly, this might become the new TNA standard. Anything you want to plug about, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at my usual name. You can find me on X. Excuse me. I still refuse to call it X, but it's Twitter. Florida Gator fan. Other than that, you can find me here at the great Simply Predicting shows.
Yes.
Other than that, man, it's great to be back. I missed you guys, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it, brother. I miss you too. I just want to know, again, everything's always well with you and the family. That's all that matters to me. Again, it's not about me. It's about wrestling. And this is a family and a community. And I love being a part of it and leading it in a way. It's fun leading versus participating. JJ, we got a hell of a weekend ahead, man. So, again, let's promote some stuff and go ahead and tell people they can find you, besides tomorrow.
Well, you can find me on the socials there, the Renegade JJ Williams on Instagram, ROWJJ Williams on Twitter, Casa D18 Studios on YouTube. And then we've got all the content, all the wrestling.
Damn it!
Against All Odds watch along tomorrow. Clash at the Castle on Saturday morning. Mission Pro Summer 11 Saturday afternoon. Tomorrow, while you guys are doing Against All Odds, Statboy will be doing a watch along of Game 4 of the NBA Finals because it could be a clean sweep. And Boston could take the championship tomorrow.
Boston.
Open mic night on Saturday. There's just so much stuff coming up here. All kinds of good stuff. What kind of shame can we put Noah through on Saturday, especially since his ATW brethren, Keen A Train, will be making his open mic night debut on Saturday night.
Why do you guys torture me?
Sad as it may say, I'm going to have to watch the replay on it because I got to be up at 2 a.m.
Yeah, again, first for practice.
Hey, y'all still might be going on when I get up, so who knows?
That does seem to usually happen while I reside in the dark now, but you wouldn't be wrong. And again, the things I do for friends. All right, well, again, JJ, appreciate you. We got a hell of a week, and all I got to say is let's fucking go because I'm all about all the wrestling. And again, folks, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Predictings. That concludes the City Predictings for now. The City Predictings will resume as the month concludes. Why? For I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! Because again, I watch all the wrestling. Shout out to the W family on the Twitter social media platforms. Check out our podcast, The Interview Impromptu. We'll be back during Forbidden Door week with another impromptu and predictions preview. Again, my simple YouTube channels where you keep up with the Prediction League forums, keep your own simple assessment to all the biggest shows across all things in and out of WWE, NXT, Ring of Honor, AEW, TNA, sometimes NJPW, even other stuff beyond that. Again, just follow me on the YouTube, primarily. Follow me on the Twitter if you choose, at nfoster1916. To keep up with all the leads, all the predictions, and have a positive preview day in and out of professional wrestling. It is as simple as that. And the City Predictings will continue. Coming at the end of the month, we have Forbidden Door, followed by WWE Money in the Bank, NXT Heatwave, TNA Slammiversary, and Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. All on tab for the month of July, and Forbidden Door will be at the end of June. So stay tuned for more on those dates and those panels and those discussions and those prediction leagues and forums as always, too. And again, that's really all I got to say for now as I keep it short, sweet, and simple. And all this is possible because of all of you, and we thank you. But as always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters, just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, no matter how much they try and humiliate you. And just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that. But with that being said, thank you so much once again for tuning in to another simple edition of Simply Predicting TNA side of things. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, hit the bell as video goes live on demand on either of our YouTube channels. Hit the subscribe button, help us keep growing our YouTube communities. I assure you, our passion, our creative content, our coverage, and our activities and shenanigans is not laying up anytime soon. Again, you'll find both Prediction League forums on my YouTube. As soon as this video concludes, underneath the community tabs, whether you're WWE or whether you're TNA, join the fun, find something that you can engage in all things wrestling. Till then, we'll see you tomorrow night for TNA Against the Odds. And again, shout out to Tilla, who's probably concluding as we speak. And again, she believes in Joe Hendry as much, if not more, than me, as we all believe. We'll see you for TNA Against All Odds right here tomorrow night on YouTube, as he's a believer now, and I believe we all want to go to sleep. See you then, and as always, make a positive impact in life, and have a good night, folks. This has been TNA Against All Odds, simply predicting. Have a good night. Joe Hendry for World Champion! I'm just saying.
I think it's going to happen.
I believe by the end of the year. Sorry, I'm hitting the button.